Hello, my name is Moses Bernabe. I'm a writer and podcaster, and I'm excited to welcome you to my new feed. And what is this all about? So, I am on a journey toward publishing my first novel and hopefully a few more after that. And as I make progress on that journey and figuring that out, I'll be sharing updates and excerpts and talking about that. It's a story I've been working on for a while, and there's a lot of my own um, my own journey, my spiritual journey, my clinical journey, and my just love of stories, fantasy, science fiction, all of that wound into one big adventure. Today, though, not talking about that book, talking more about podcast actually that is meant to accompany the book and also be an outlet for me as a writer. So, this is a podcast called Word and Journey, conversations with friends about stories that shape us and make us think. And essentially, what this is a book club. So, for those of us who like to read and enjoy good stories. So, the format will be me and some friends. We will read a book chapter by chapter, paragraph by paragraph, concept by concept, have conversations about it, and you get to listen. And if you like to just listen to a conversation that's hopefully interesting and informative, there can certainly be that. And the aim is that it's conversations about the story, about the stylistic points and the concepts and the stories and the characters, but also reflecting on who we are as people who are reading the story. Good stories, the timeless stories, they speak about things that matter across generations, across life stages, across demographics, across cultures, and that's kind of what we're aiming for. Aiming for reading the good stories, which I'm going to loosely define as stories that are about something. About something. I mean, all stories are about something, but stories that are more than just fluff and flashbang and sensuality and shock value, but stories that ask deep questions about life and spirituality and the meaning of the world and the problem of evil and the nature of God and how do we as people be good. So looking for stories that challenge us in that way. So hopefully our conversations on their own will have interest to you in that sense. And or you're always welcome to actually read the book as well. Follow along at your own pace because you can do that. And that will be the podcast. And that I'm excited that we get to do that. So mostly aiming for the good stories, for the challenging stories, but also lest we fall into an utterly scholastic and heavily dystopic mode, we will also have some conspicuous appearances of anime and mirth and other just fun stories as well, because life is good. So our first novel that we'll be reading through is C.S. Lewis's The Great Divorce. This is a story set in a flying bus making a journey from hell to heaven. Along the way, we meet the passengers on the bus, the residents of hell. Each of them has opportunity to stay in the bright place, which we'll understand as an intermediary zone between hell and heaven. And as the story progresses, we watch as each character is challenged and tested in a uniquely profound way, and how inevitably almost all of them head back to the bus. And we'll talk about why and what all of this means. And as a teaser, I will leave you with a curated quote from the book, from the foreword to the story, written by C.S. Lewis himself. I do not think that all who choose wrong roads perish, but their rescue consists in being put back on the right road. If we insist on keeping hell, or even earth, we shall not see heaven. If we accept heaven, we shall not be able to retain even the smallest and most intimate souvenirs of hell. I believe, to be sure, that anyone who reaches heaven will find that what he or she abandoned, even the plucking out of an eye, was precisely nothing, that the kernel of wheat really sought, even in the most depraved wishes, will be there beyond expectation. I think earth, if chosen instead of heaven, will turn out to have been, all along, only a region in hell, and earth, if put second to heaven, to have been from the beginning a part of heaven itself. I'm Moses Bernabe with the Word and Journey podcast. I look forward to having you join us for our next episode.